The idea of crossbreeding has always fascinated us, but some crazy scientists went too far experimenting with it. Disastrous, unethical, or miraculous. Here are some of the crossbreeding experiments from hell. Human sheep. This weird goat-human hybrid was born in a small town in India. As soon as the news was spread, people rushed to see this miracle. Many people thought that this goat was a victim of a cruel human interaction, but many others thought of it as a rebirth of a god and started worshipping it. This next one was born with the same deformity, a face that looks humanly. In reality, it is impossible for a human to mate with a goat because they both have different numbers of chromosomes. According to the scientists, these goats suffer from a rare congenital defect known as cyclopia, which prevents these goats from having a symmetrical face. What are your opinions on this? Are these goats the result of humans mating with them? Or are they really suffering from the defect? Ashira. This is the world's most expensive, most exotic, and most rare domestic cat. It's also dubbed as the designer cat with wild blood. It's a three-way mix between an African serval, Asian leopard, and a domestic cat. These exotic cats are bigger than an average domestic cat. It can reach a weight of 15 kilograms and a height of 1.5 meters, and can cost up to $20,000. They are smart, fast, and super active. Since 2005, only about 100 cats have been sold to this day. Looking at their sheer size, you might think they're dangerous. And the answer to that is no, they're not dangerous. Rather, they have a very calm and quiet nature. Goats with human milk. Scientists at the University of California, Davis, have successfully engineered goats that contain human DNA. People have been using goat's milk for drinking for thousands of years, but now, these average-looking goats will be able to produce human breast milk. Yeah, you heard me right. I know this hybridization sounds really gnarly and disgusting, but hear me out. This milk contains up to about 60% of the lysozyme and lactoferrin found in mother's milk. These chemicals can kill pathogenic bacteria, protecting and developing the baby's immune system. Since these enzymes kill bacteria, it will ripen the cheese faster and will have a longer shelf life. If this wasn't enough, the Russian scientists have already started testing the production of cheese with this special milk. I think this is stretching the experiment a little bit too far. Wolfins. What you're looking at right now is the world's rarest hybrid called a wolfin. It's a hybrid between a male orca and a bottlenose dolphin. The name suggests that it would be a hybrid between a whale and a dolphin, but despite the name, orcas belong to the dolphin family. A wolfin is much larger than a dolphin. Darker in color, their mouths look like orcas with sharp teeth, while their fins and heads look like a bottlenose dolphin. This miracle of a baby named Kekai-Malu was born at Sea Life Park in Hawaii. Kekai-Malu was born as the result of natural mating between Ianui Kahei, a male orca, and Punahele, a female bottlenose dolphin. They were thought to be just poolmates, but they turned out to be partners. Kekai-Malu is the perfect 50-50 hybrid that has survived in captivity to this day. Goat-spider hybrid. This next hybrid is kind of freaky. These goats you see here, they look pretty normal, right? Wrong! The extraordinary goats produce spider silk. Their DNA is mixed with spider genes to produce web silk in their milk. Now, you might be confused as to why they need these silk proteins in milk. Well, a spider's silk is strong yet stretchy and is used in a number of things, including medicine. But a tiny spider cannot produce enough silk to meet all those needs. And yes, people have tried farming spiders before, but it was deemed unsuccessful because spiders are territorial and they attack each other. That is why these scientists created these goats so they can extract silk from their milk in larger quantities. Human Z. For years, people have been fascinated with the idea of combining our DNA with apes. Many movies have been inspired by this idea. I think this curiosity comes from the concept that, on average, we share 98% of our DNA with the apes. Having an ape hybrid isn't really just a fantasy created by the Hollywood directors. In 1920, a Soviet biologist, Ilya Ivanov, created a human-Z, a hybrid between a human and an ape. He artificially inseminated a female chimpanzee. The pregnancy didn't happen. Although there was another chimpanzee named Oliver who is speculated to be a human-Z. This chimp was able to walk upright like humans and was really intelligent. These characteristics made him the center of attention. Later, DNA testing proved that he was not a hybrid. The scientists have worked on genetic editing of chimpanzees, but they can't keep the embryos for longer periods due to ethical issues. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. This old monochromatic picture is making rounds on the internet lately. The half-human, half-ape is being dubbed as Ape Man of the Amazon. Let's have a closer look at this image. First of all, he looks way too neat and clean-shaved to be a wild man from the jungle. Yes, he could have been made in the labs as an experiment, and socializing with humans may have had an impact on him. But at the same time, if you look at his face, you can see a line where a prosthetic mouth and nose is glued to his skin. Is it an ape man? Or just some guy in special FX makeup? Honestly, the picture is so old, it's anybody's guess at this point. Africanized bees. Africanized bees were created in Brazil in the 1950s. How they came into existence is nothing short of a low-budget sci-fi movie. The Brazilian government wanted to increase the honey production around the region, so they commissioned a biologist, Warwick E. Kerr, who did not have any prior experience in animal breeding. European honeybees had been introduced in Brazil prior, but they were not productive there because of the heat. So, Dr. Kerr ended up mixing the African honeybees and the European honeybees, which resulted in the creation of the most dangerous bees on the planet. And on top of that, some of the bees escaped the labs. Africanized bees have a stronger instinct than European bees to sting when they feel threatened, and they can chase their target for up to a quarter of a mile. They are not only dangerous to us humans, but also to other species of bees as well. Rabbit Man. For the first time in China, scientists have been able to successfully use cloning techniques to create a human-rabbit hybrid in the lab dishes. The scientists combined human skin cells with a rabbit egg to create the human-rabbit hybrid. These scientists were allowed to create more than 100 samples for a number of days, but had to destroy them to retrieve embryonic stem cells from them. The Chinese scientists have been the first to succeed in combining human cells with another animal, after efforts had been made multiple times by other scientists throughout the world, but were unsuccessful in developing the embryos. This embryo contained a major portion of human DNA, while the small percentage of DNA, called mitochondrial DNA, was contributed by the rabbit egg. I wonder how the hybrid would have looked if they'd implanted the embryo in the rabbit and let it grow to full term. Glow-in-the-dark puppy. This scientific miracle was created in a lab in South Korea. The scientists created the world's first transgenic beagle puppy and named it Ruppy, or short for Ruby Puppy. They give it this name because of the dog's ability to glow in the dark. Yeah, it's no hoax. This puppy can actually glow in the dark when a UV light is shined over it. They use a virus to infect the fibroblast cells with a fluorescent gene. They created the transgenic dogs in order to use them as a disease model for future to study the diseases commonly found both in dogs and humans. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and also share it with your friends. Bye-bye.